Hey guys, Game.Feel here. Just wanted to make a video. I've talked about it many a time about how I have a custom gaming rig, and I just wanted to, do an overview, a brief overview, and it was time to clean the computer anyway, so just wanted to go ahead and just kind of take it out of its shell, took it out of my desk and everything. I have a special place for it in my desk. Just wanted to get it out here in the open, put it on this little coffee table. Do a little dusting. As you can see, I've got my canned air prepared, and I thought might as well go ahead and do a little overview of the whole system and go over it. So we're gonna start with the outside of it. For a case, I have my Go Faster stickers here, guys. You'll notice I have a Cosmos SE case. It's made by Cooler Master, as you can see right there. They're one of the, I guess you'd call them one of the, they make more fans and water cooling, and I actually have one of their, I have a Corsair cooling. And the only thing in here that's Cooler Master is this case, actually. I was not, I'd done a lot of reading up on the Corsair Cosmos 2, and I thought, well, that case is awesome, so I don't really want something that big, and it's $350. So I thought, why not go with the little brother to it, and I just got the Cosmos SE, so that's what this is. You'll notice that up top you have your USB 3.0, you have two of those, two USB 2.0s, headphone, and microphone. I have never used the headphone and microphone here because I have a very long cable that I use for my headset, and they plug into the back. Yeah, obviously, I haven't cleaned it in a little bit, so it is definitely dirty, but I figured why not show you the system broke in. You have your power switch up here along with your reset, and this button literally just turns on and turns off the LEDs in the fans, which are located in the front here. Another thing I have to gripe about is this front piece here. It comes off very easily. You just have to pull it towards you and pull it out. Can sometimes be a pain in the ass whenever you're trying to hook it up. And there you can see the actual, there are more things that are Cooler Master in here. I forgot it had the fans, the case fans that originally came in here are Cooler Master OEM fans. And as you can see, it is dusty. So, mind the dust, it'll be taken care of here in a few seconds. We're going to go ahead and start up here at the top. There's a little screw, little thumb screw right here in the back. We'll just let that loose. And I'll also, at the end of the video, if you'll stay tuned, I will actually have some benchmarking and everything at the end, so that way you can see all the specs. Up top, this case is supposed to support water cooling. I don't know how you're supposed to be able to put such big water coolers in it when there are no ports up top. So just for a warning for anybody who gets this case, if you're planning on doing your own custom water cooling, this is not necessarily the easiest case to do that on, because of the fact that you cannot put anything up here. You would have to modify the case. In doing so, you would probably void the warranty, because you would have to drill a pretty big hole. Another thing is that these screws here are part of the brace for the carrying rods up top. They feel very sturdy. However, whenever I received this case, I noticed it was kind of jiggly, and these screws were actually loose, and the other ones are up top, and so I had to literally take all of my front controls loose and get in there and tighten the screws up. Very much for pain in the neck. Other than that, I do have two Corsair fans that came with my H100i water cooler that I'm about to get to. I have had this one. I'm very pleased with the H100i. Keeps my cooling down to around 60 degrees Celsius. Is about as hot as it gets. I have, however, seen it get up to around 90 before, which kind of made me a little scared. Not gonna lie. So I will be taking this water cooling system loop out eventually and going with the custom loop. But I honestly dread doing it because I remember how much of a pain in the neck it was to get the Cooler Master in the, to get the, sorry, not Cooler Master, the H100i in here. And I don't look forward to doing the other one, but it looks like it might be a little easier because I won't have to go through the honeycomb. I'll actually just use the pre-drilled holes. So we'll get onto that. Moving on to the back. I'm just going to get down here. You'll notice that you do have a rear, I do have my rear exhaust fan here. And then over here I have my motherboard I/O. I did go with a ASRock Fatality performance. I am using the Z77 chipset. So if you'll notice, I do have quite a few things on here that I probably don't even need. Some of this stuff I don't even know what it does, to be honest with you. Just going to be honest. This card does feature the Intel graphics already on it, so you do have a DVI and a VGA. I do not use either of those. However, I do have USB 2.0 up top, as well as down here. There's two, and the Fatality mouse hookup here. For some reason, if you plug up into that mouse, you can use the same settings as Fatality. I don't care because what works for one guy may not work for me. I prefer to use USB 2.0 or 3.0 for that kind of stuff. Then it does have an HDMI port. Again, I do not use this because I don't use any of the stuff on the motherboard except for the I/O, which is this right here, and of course I use USB. I do not use the optical out, but this board does have one. I use speakers. Looks like we have a rear subwoofer, microphone, audio out, and audio in. So you do have all of those. Then down here, this is the back of my graphics card. As you can see, I use the DVI port. Probably should switch the DVI-D. Oh well, who cares? I personally think it works just fine. With my monitors anyway. Then over here you've got HDMI and DisplayPort. And I actually did that correct. So while I'm back here, I'm going to go ahead and spray some. Ooh. Spray some stuff so that way we can actually see the rest of the stuff down here. You notice you have 7 expansion bays with this case, and you have an option to put one over here as well that you can mount long ways inside the case. I don't do that myself, but it's nice that you have it. I don't know why you would need it though. I mean, you've got plenty of expansion bays here. I guess if you want to do like 3-way SLI or something, who knows. Down here, you notice I chose the RM1000 power supply. Fully modular, 80 plus something, I'm not sure anymore. It's been a while. All I know is it's 1,000 watts and it works. If I'm not mistaken, it's gold because of it being gold. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the side of it here. We'll just open this up. Take all these little thumb screws off. This is one thing I wish I didn't have on this case. Alright, you just slide the thing back and it comes loose like that. I'm going to put this over here so it doesn't get ruined. Alright, now going on to the inside of the case where all the magic happens. We'll start up here. If you'll notice, I have the Corsair H100i mounted at the top of the case, which is why if you notice, my optical drive is in the second bay, because if you look up top, there is no way, and you can't see that. Let me see if I can put a little light up in there. If you can see there's no way I get that optical drive in the top bay. And to be honest with you, nowadays, now that I have the optical drive, I don't even know why I have it. You really never use them. It is the Corsair Vengeance Pro. You'll notice that it is red, so it matches. That was kind of the idea behind the system, was red. However, I did fail to realize that the case lights up blue, so that was kind of a bad thing on my part. Other than that, though, very nice. The RAM is great. I don't know what the actual numbers are. I'll put those in the description. Put all that information in the description. Like I said, I am running on the Z77. This is the performance board, the Fatality. I love it. It has been a very nice card. Another thing is, if you'll notice, I do actually have room for SLI if I would like. The only thing about it is that for me to run SLI in the system, I would have to use these lower drive bays down here at the bottom, which really are inhabited and really need dusting. But for me to use SLI in the system, I would have had to do that, and with the way I wanted my cable management to work out, which, as you can kind of tell, isn't the best in the world, but it works, and the system has been used for quite a while. So, like for instance, I would have preferred not to have anything sitting directly on my graphics card, but you know, when you've got such a long cable that only goes to right there, it's not that big of a deal. I do run all of my, I do use the Corsair Link software that came with my H100i. So you'll notice all the cords leaving that from that. I guess I could have went away without doing that, but you know, I did what I wanted to do. Alright, so for a graphics card, I am using a Asus GeForce GTX 780. It is the DirectCU 2 edition, so it does have overclocking, and it has been overclocked. I'm not sure what my specs were on the last time I've overclocked it. I just play around with it all the time, so I'm not sure exactly what my overclock on this particular system is. Down here on the bottom, you'll notice I have some unused ports, and I have my SATA cables and everything plugged straight into the bottom. This has one thing I'd like to complain about is that some of the programs and drivers for this motherboard are a pain in the neck. Like for instance the XFast USB. I don't understand what the idea of that was. Obviously, you know, I would love to know, because I'd love to sound like I know everything in this video, but I don't. Alright, so going on, you know, I've got everything plugged in. It all works, obviously. Very good gaming console, not console, system. Very good gaming computer. This is the system I'm talking about taking out. It's this water cooling unit here. It works for the most part, but it does get a little warmer. I would like to see if I couldn't try to use a push-pull configuration, which is where I would have a fan on the bottom and the fans on the top. In which case, I'd love to put a couple of fans up here to blow air through the top, but with this, again, with this case and this big motherboard, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. However, one thing I did not want was to have a case that looked like I had too small of components in it, so I wanted to go with a bigger size. Let me get these off of there real quick. That's not good. Alright, I will be SLIing the system eventually, but again, like I said, in order for me to SLI the system, I have to move my hard drive, which I can't pull it out obviously because of the cables, but I am using a Seagate Barracuda 1 terabyte drive. I love this drive I haven't really used, I don't use RAID or anything like that because obviously I don't have more than one hard drive anyway, and I've been pretty happy with it. It does what I need it to do. It stores, it does backups, so on and so forth. I will be upgrading my SSD to something a little quicker later on, but that'll be for a later date, and that will also be stowed away in the back like I have my current SSD. So That being said, I'm going to start cleaning up. Oh yeah, my power supply. I'm using the RM1000, which is a completely modular power supply, like I said before. I'm not even... This is complete overkill for this system. I don't think I've come anywhere close to using the 1000. But, as I said before, I do plan on doing modifications to the system, and I just would really prefer to not have to buy another one anytime soon. So that was kind of the idea behind that. Plus, I mean, you know, might as well have it there if you can. You know, I'm happy with it. That's all that matters. And I'm sure a lot of people will talk about this in the comments. My cable management is not the best in the world. However, take into consideration that I really was in a rush to build this computer. Now, one thing I also want to point out is this wonderful pop-out on the side here for your cable management. It really helps out. If that wasn't there, I don't think I could have closed the door. And as you'll see here in a second, the door actually barely closes. But that's because I have a lot of cables back here. I'm going to move around to this side over here so we can kind of talk about the back here. You'll see my back plate for my motherboard, CPU, all of that is there. You know, for the most part, I'm pretty pleased with the case. I actually ran out of cables when I was trying to build the system. So I was actually unable to do it as good as I would have preferred, you know. And I'm eventually, I keep telling myself this, that I'm gonna take it down and clean it and put it all back together again. Well, you know, I don't know. If you guys think I should, comment, like, subscribe, you know, all that kind of stuff. Let me know down in the comments if you think I should upgrade the wiring, go back and clean up my wiring in this system. I personally don't think so, but that's me. One thing I wish Corsair would have done with their power supply was would be to give you more options with your SATA cables for power. And there you see I have my Samsung 840 Pro Series 256 gigabyte SSD boot drive, and eventually I'll be putting a 512 or a 1 terabyte. I'm thinking about upgrading to the new 850, in which case I will put that up here on top. Which is one good thing I love about this case, is the fact that you can put them right here. In which case, if I do go with, I'm thinking about going with a 1 terabyte SSD. And which case, if I do that, I will actually do away completely with this hard drive here and move on to the next beautiful and better things. All right, well, that just about covers it up. I'm gonna finish off right here with my optical drive. I have a Asus DVD rewritable CD thing case here. I have only probably used it twice. That is for, well, I've probably used it maybe 3 or 4 times. That's for installing a couple of games that are kind of older that I really like to play, and for installing Windows 7, which this system does use Windows 7 Home Premium. I will be upgrading to Windows 7 Ultimate eventually. I'm kind of waiting to see if I should upgrade to Windows 8.1. Not sure about that yet. That's another thing you should leave in the comments. Do you think I should upgrade to Windows 8.1? That being said, this is Game Dr. Phil, signing off.